My name is Andres Ortola. I'm the new general manager for Microsoft here in Portugal, and it's a pleasure to be here today. And what a great day to start my role here with such an event. So much energy, so much interesting conversations going on. It's amazing. I'm going to start by getting myself a little bit in trouble. I promised to you all that next year we'll land this same address all in full Portuguese, maybe a little Portuñol, but for sure it'll be better than this year. But bear with me for now. One word that I did learn and I want to use right now is obrigado. And that is to all of you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this new future that we're trying to build together. It's a little bit more than thank you. It comes from deep gratitude from everyone here at Microsoft Portugal. There's two groups that I want to really thank especially. The first is our advisory board. They've been amazing. Your wise advice, your contribution, your support it's so much valued by our team. An event like this would never be possible without your support. Thank you very much. And of course, to our sponsors. We appreciate your support. We appreciate everything you do before, during, and after the event. All the conversations, all the ideas that have been shared here will become actions, it will become reality. And I look forward to see all this partnership actually transforming into actions for the country. And we see this future as a purpose-driven innovation. We see this future as a future of impact. And to tell us a little bit more about impact, I have invited Cindy Rose, Corporate Vice President and President of Microsoft Western Europe, to tell us a bit more about it. Cindy, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Andres, and hello, everyone. It's great to be joining you again for another great Building the Future event. Last year, I said how much I was looking forward to joining you in person this year, and I'm delighted to be with you virtually, but sad that I'm not there in person to join Andres on stage. I am optimistic, though. We're starting to see light at the end of the COVID tunnel, so count on me to be there next time for sure. You know, looking back at my comments from last year, I spoke about the hope of vaccines rolling out across Europe and the role that technology plays in empowering first responders and emergency caregivers. And now, unbelievably, a year later, billions of people have received their third dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. It's just staggering what has happened in a year and amazing to see what the world has achieved. And yet, there's a really daunting road ahead of us as well. So much change has taken place, not just in terms of pandemic, but from a macroeconomic and geopolitical standpoint as well. Over the last year, we've seen that technology was critical for building business resilience, supporting healthcare professionals, even enabling teachers and students through digital learning. I believe that technology will play an even greater significance in the year ahead as governments, industries, societies around the world start to look to the future and take the steps required to drive inclusive economic recovery. You know, we've seen inspiring stories over the past year right across Europe and in Portugal of resilience and adaptability as so many organizations moved to remote work, then back to the office, then remote again. And now we've settled into some form of hybrid, which we believe is the new normal and here to stay. Examples like the Lisbon Central University Hospital, who adopted Microsoft Teams last year to ensure they could continue to provide critical patient care while reducing the pressure on core services during the pandemic. Or global energy company EDP, another great example of a company that moved 100% to remote operations, using Microsoft Power BI to ensure that they could continue to service their customers in a safe and timely manner. And finally, Millennium BCP rolled out Microsoft 365 as their digital communication and collaboration platform for their employees to maintain business continuity during the pandemic. We've all had to adapt our mindset, our behaviors, our work habits, and hybrid work tools really have enabled businesses to survive. And we're seeing evidence now that those who invested early in building digital capabilities are now emerging from the pandemic faster, stronger, and more resilient. And in a time of cost pressure and growing inflation, we believe technology can help be a deflationary force with businesses of all sizes, improving productivity and reducing customer cost to serve. The urgent need for digital transformation in every industry sector means that we at Microsoft need to be able to support all of our customers, big and small, public and private, in every corner of the economy. And the only way we can do that is to scale through our fantastic ecosystem of Microsoft partners. Here in Europe, Microsoft has an ecosystem of more than 100,000 partners, more than 3,600 in Portugal alone. Last year at the Building the Future event, I talked about the Microsoft Partner Pledge, which we've now launched here in Europe. The pledge is fundamentally about using technology for good. As technology companies, it's about us taking our responsibilities seriously and contributing to that inclusive economic recovery I mentioned earlier. And the pledge has 4 goals. Digital skilling, so helping people prepare for the challenges of the 4th Industrial Revolution, leveraging Microsoft skilling programs. The responsible and ethical use of AI in a way that's secure, respectful of personal privacy, and free from bias. Diversity and inclusion, a big issue for the technology workforce. How do we improve diverse representation? And finally, a commitment to sustainability through environmental conservation and reducing our carbon footprint. I'm proud to say we now have over 400 partners who have signed the Microsoft Partner Pledge, including 50 partners in Portugal alone. And I would invite every partner who hasn't joined yet to please explore and consider doing so. So I love that today's theme for today's presentations has been all about people and planet. Because to drive an inclusive economic recovery, we're going to need to invest in our communities and our people through skilling. We're going to need to embrace diversity and inclusion, and we're going to need to take positive steps to manage our carbon footprint. These are the pillars of our partner pledge. They're also strategic priorities for Microsoft and frankly for the vast majority of our customers as well. So let me touch on a few of these very quickly. On skilling. Last year, we announced the Microsoft Global Skills Initiative, aimed at bringing new digital skills to more than 25 million job seekers around the world who were hardest hit by job losses during the pandemic. We offered access to free learning content through LinkedIn and technical certifications to help job seekers land new roles. In Portugal, we committed to increasing digital skills for more than 200,000 people in both the public and private sector. We committed to developing skills for more than 70,000 higher education students. We committed to investing €1 million in Portuguese startups in less developed regions of the country. And we committed to hiring more than 300 people into our Microsoft Portugal business. And I'm delighted to say that our wonderful team on the ground in Portugal has not only delivered on these commitments, but exceeded them with fantastic support from many of our customers and partners. And we have even more ambitious goals for the year ahead. But beyond skilling, we've done quite a lot of research over the last 18 months on how this pandemic has impacted people. And while we don't have all the answers, we've published some very good guidance on how to navigate the world of hybrid work. In our research, we talk about what we call the hybrid paradox. This idea that people want, on the one hand, flexibility to enhance their work-life balance, but on the other hand, they're really craving face-to-face human connection. Navigating that paradox will really require leaders to show empathy at an unprecedented scale. Employees today expect their leaders to help them manage their mental health and well-being as well, to help them set boundaries and prioritize rest and recovery time. Employees also expect their leaders to demonstrate through their actions an authentic commitment to diversity in the broadest sense and to building an inclusive culture in which everyone feels a strong sense of belonging and an ability to contribute and do their very best work. And all of these dynamics make this a very challenging time to be a people leader. Again, we don't have all the answers, but we're always happy to engage on these issues, share what we've learned, including our vast research findings, and of course, learn from your experience as well. And I'll just end with our focus on the planet, our sustainability commitments as Microsoft. On the 16th of January, that marked exactly 2 years since we committed to becoming carbon negative by 2030. And we committed to removing all of our historical carbon emissions since the year we were founded in 1975 by the year 2050. We're sharing our own company milestones on every step of the journey, and this came into sharp focus during our involvement at COP26 in Glasgow towards the end of last year, where we were proud to be a principal partner. At COP26, we announced the Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability, something a number of customers in Europe are already using today. The Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability helps organizations in 3 ways to achieve their sustainability goals. It helps you record your carbon emissions, report these emissions in a manageable and transparent way using a common data model, and reduce your emissions by providing actionable insights and recommendations to improve business processes. So that was a whistle-stop tour. I hope that that helps to provide a few insights into the trends that we're seeing globally and here in Europe, and some of the themes that we're prioritizing as an organization. We are here to support our customer and partners navigate through these really challenging dynamics. And if there's anything we can do to help, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or Andres on LinkedIn. I hope you stay safe. I look forward to being there next year in person. And with that, I'll hand back to Andres. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you very much for being with us today. And I wanted to sort of continue what Cindy was telling us and try to bring it a bit closer to our shores here in Portugal. Cindy talked about partners and partnerships, and I'm very proud to see how we are exploring new partnerships and new frontiers of building together. This particular partnership I'm very proud of is a partnership with universities and education institutions where we have taken AI business schools to companies, public and private, small and big alike, to try to teach and try to create a much better awareness about this essential technology for developing our digital economy. And that doesn't stop there. When you think about skilling, we understand the magnitude of it. Just last year, we have trained more than 300,000 people on technologies using Microsoft Learn, using LinkedIn Learning, or even GitHub. And that's super encouraging, but we didn't feel like stopping there. We have made our tools available for more than 260,000 unemployed people, unfortunately, but trying to work with them to reskill them, to make them ready to be reinserted in the labor market as soon as possible. And another point that Cindy touched on, and I wanted to reemphasize, is the people piece. And every leader right now must be asking himself or herself, how do I balance productivity and well-being in this new hybrid work paradigm? Long are the days where we could be present with our teams and making sure things happened. Today, we think about a much broader view of employee impact. We think about an employee experience platform that has, of course, things like well-being and engagement, growth, development, culture, purpose, and communications and productivity, of course, all in one box, all in one place, so our employees can be connected and productive. And speaking about future, Cindy touched on this as well. I'm really, really proud to see things like you can see here behind me, where University of Oslo and Facultad de Medicina here at University of Lisbon have worked together on this virtual reality, enhanced reality sort of project, where they are looking at right now the same organ, the same body, and making decisions together. What's fascinating about this is if you think about how training is going to look like in this new world, or even how knowledge can travel without traveling physically a person. We can be conducting an operation from Norway to Portugal, from Brazil to Alaska. It doesn't really matter. These technologies will make it possible. And today, during the whole day, we've been talking about planet and our impact and sustainability. Probably you've heard about Microsoft and its commitment to become carbon negative and carbon zero by 2030. But let me just spend a moment here. Microsoft has been carbon neutral since 2015. That is by the use of offsetting and making sure there's forests that have been planted or not taken down. We believe that's not enough. We believe that we need to be very active in taking carbon out of the atmosphere as much as we produce, more than we produce. This will take us to carbon zero in 2030. But not only that, fast forward 20 years, we would have taken from the atmosphere all the net carbon that we put since the beginning of the company in 1975. This is a great commitment, something we're very, very much keen on. And you've seen our local efforts here in our partnership with Upcoming Energies, Big Help, and exploring new ways of doing things, exploring new ideas, new approaches to sustainability as a whole. Super exciting to see our progress in this front. And we're not done here. Tomorrow we have perhaps the most exciting day, the day that we really build a future in the far future, talking about education. Tomorrow we'll have both teachers and students coming together and learn on what's going to happen. What's going to happen and will be the shape of the world that they will see. Super excited about the Edu Day, and I look forward to see everyone there. To help us actually bring a point, and I'll finish with this, of bringing the Microsoft mission to real life. It's about empowering every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. I look forward to see all these actions, all this great thinking that happened during these days becoming a reality for Portugal. Thank you very, very much for all your support. Thank you for being here. Obrigado.